like across the shop, like it went shoom, flies off. He puts on this voice, I don't know what I'm doing. I felt a weird atmosphere, I was getting weird vibes. Crying, I was so, I'm like, no you aren't, no you're not. Don't lie to me. At this point I'm thinking, I have messed this up. Little Isabel decides to just blurt out, oh, can anything else go wrong? My lips are looking crusty as hell. Welcome back to the channel. How pathetic are these plats? Look how thin they are. Anyway, let's not talk about it. So today I'm gonna be bringing you, let's not do that the whole video, a story time. These seem to be the videos people enjoy the most. We're gonna have a chat today, okay? We're gonna talk about something that literally, when I think about it, I cringe. I was just a mess. I feel like if you've had a lot of jobs as well, you'll know the struggle of like never knowing what to expect from interviews. And let's just say I was very inexperienced and naive at the start. So yeah, let's just begin. To all my knots boys and girls, the place I'm going to be talking about, you have probably been in. Probably everyone's been in actually. It's a very well-known shop. Just to kind of save myself, I didn't want to, you know, throw anyone under the bus or anything. So this is gonna get juicy. I feel like as well, a lot of people don't realise what goes on behind closed doors in a shop or a restaurant or whatever. You know, you never really know what's going on behind what they kind of portray as their brand. Do you know what I mean? Like you just never know. I guess you could call me an expert in the job interview department. No, I'm joking. Definitely not an expert, but I've had my fair few. I'm older and a bit more experienced than I was in this story time. This story time is going to be based around when I was less experienced. This was probably like my second or third job interview. But yeah, this whole story time is going to be based around my worst job experience. Okay, so for this interview, I was very over-planned. You know the stress of when you don't know what to expect and you're just trying to plan what you're going to say. I was writing notes. I was like, oh, I'm going to say this, going to say that, throw that in there. Basically planning a script for this job interview, which do not do because you will end up sounding like a robot. Maybe have like a few bits you want to say, but just don't go overboard, because that's what I did. And let's just say it backfired. I was buzzing. I was so happy that I'd got this interview because, you know, I saw £8.50 an hour on Indeed and I was like, yes please. I was applying to everywhere and then I got this email back and they were like, yes, come in for an interview. Probably applied to about 40 places and I had about 2 emails back, and this place was the place that I wanted the most. So I was buzzing. I was like, yes, oh my god, I've got this, I'm gonna be rolling in the money. Anyway, yes, how things took a turn. I was so excited. I bought myself a new outfit, you know, strolled down to Asda, got myself some fancy shoes. Looking back, what was I doing? I was like proper going all out in the posh outfit. You know, they said smart wear, and you know when you see smart wear, you're like, I had these smart shoes on, I was loving life. I rock up about an hour early, no joke. I just waited outside the shop. I was buzzing. I was like, yes, I've got this in the bag. I was waiting outside the shop until like 10 minutes early because I thought an hour early is a little bit too keen, do you know what I mean? But yeah, don't ask why I got there and out. I can taste lipstick. I was very keen. I didn't want to risk being late because I wanted this job so bad. I had to obviously get the bus, which the bus times here are just... I got there probably not an hour early, probably like 40 minutes early. So I was waiting outside and then I thought, oh, it's 10 to, right, let's go in. I was so scared. I was like, I need this job so bad. You know, I put so much pressure on myself to get it. So I rock up, I find a supervisor and I'm like, hi, I'm Isabel, I'm here for an interview, blah, blah, blah. You know what you say. And then they were like, yes, come with me. So they took me to a room. Now this room was like, you know where they keep all the lockers and everyone eats and everyone's just chilling out until they're actually meant to go on shift or in their breaks or whatever. Anyway, so I walk in and I'm like really excited. I'm like, hi! And everyone just looks at me like this. They're like, and I'm thinking, I'm just there with my bloody posh Asda shoes on, just like trying to be friendly and no one's being friendly back. Anyway, so I sat down on my own. Everyone was like in a clump eating their lunch together and just having like a deep chat, and I was sat on my own on another table because I didn't want to join them. I thought that was a bit weird. It's like in the lunch hall when you go, you wouldn't go join like a random table, do you know what I mean? And it felt a weird atmosphere. I was getting weird vibes. Anyway, so I sat on the other table. I was just kind of like, they told me to wait there for the manager, and I was just waiting there, just kind of flicking through my notes that I'd made to kind of remember what I was going to be saying. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and they're having a conversation about how much they hate the job, they hate the people, they can't stand the managers, and they just, you know, how they all want to leave. And I was thinking, oh my god, I'm going to be having an interview with this manager that they're calling this and that. Oh, I was just like, oh no. That just made me even more scared. I was just thinking, oh, get me out of here. If they hate it and they're talking in front of me who's about to have an interview, then surely it must be bad. So I'm sat there for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They left me in there for quite a long time and I was just listening to their conversation. So they're all kind of still looking over at me, and I think a different manager comes in and she just kind of looks at me like, who the hell are you, sat on the edge of the table, kind of just like proper looking down on me like. And I was just smiling and she just, dirty looks. I was getting dirty looks from everyone and I was like, oh my gosh, get me out of here already. The manager that's interviewing me, I think it was not the actual manager, I think it was like a deputy manager or the one just below from my manager, assistant manager or something. So he comes in and he's like, hello, he's very posh. What should we call him? I'm Jeff. Hello, I'm Jeff, nice to meet you. Goes for my hand. What do? I shake his hand with the opposite hand. You know that awkward like, you know that awkward like when someone reaches and you use the same hand as them. Oh my god, it was so awkward. And bearing in mind everyone's staring at me as well. I was just like, get me out of here. Oh, drop my phone. Anyway, by this point it's all a shambles already, so it couldn't get any worse. But no, I was very wrong. He takes me into this room. The handshake, he kind of forgot about. I styled the handshake out, it was all right. Let's forget all these people. I can do this, I'm getting this job. I need the money. You know, I'd been searching for a job for ages. I was getting this job. I don't care if the manager's awful. I want my £8.50 an hour and I'm gonna get it. So I walked in and he took me to like a back room that we were literally sat in a stock room. So there was stock all around us and we were just on this little exam table with 2 chairs. And I was like, right, okay. Bit weird, but we can go with it. So he sat me down and he was like, hello, so my blah, 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 introduction. And then he goes, so, Isabel, what job have you applied for? Sorry, what? Sorry, what? Not quite sure about that. Isn't that something you should be telling me? No, no. And he's looking at me really awkwardly, waiting. He's just looking at me like, smiling. I'm getting weird vibes. He's smiling at me like this. And I'm like, I think I applied for the customer assistance role. And I'm thinking, oh my god, no, it's not, is it? It's not, it's not. He's looking at me and I'm just like, oh, it's not, is it? I didn't prepare for these sort of questions, Jeff, I'm going to be honest. My mind went blank. Then he goes, right, yes, you have applied for the customer assistance role. And I'm like, oh, thank god, I've got this in the bag. I've got this, I've got this. Then he goes, right, so the customer assistance role, you are required to give a range of knowledge on... Then he starts naming all this fish, all these meats, all these vegetables, all of this stuff. I'm just thinking, what have I got myself into? I was trying to just ease into the interview, you know, as you do. You try not to be nervous, but you're kind of joking with them. It's like, and it's just really awkward. So then he starts asking me questions that you don't really get asked in an interview. Like, he started asking me questions, deep questions about me, like, what is the meaning of such and such, or what does blah de blah mean to you? And I'm just there like, am I in a therapy session? What is going on? Like, these are not questions about my skills or my experience, they're just like life questions. And I'm thinking, I'm not a thesaurus, like I don't know the answer to all of these intellectual questions that you're asking me, like what? I was just so confused. And honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't have a clue. He asked me a certain question, I can't remember what the word is. It was like a direct closed question that I needed to answer and I didn't have a clue what the word was. I didn't even know what it meant. genuinely being honest, I had no clue. I'll put it on the screen if I remember, but I literally can't remember. It began with an E and it was really complicated. And I was just there like, sorry, what? You know, if you've been to interviews before, you know you have to act confident. You can't just be like, oh sorry, what was that? Like, what does that mean? Because you're gonna feel stupid. So yeah, I just had to act like I knew what it was. So I was like, oh yeah, didn't have a clue. Spitting things out like, oh, it's about everyone coming together, working as a team. Threw in the teamwork line about 10 times. Had to completely freestyle it. He was just staring at me and it wasn't helping me out. It was kind of like waiting for me to finish and I didn't know what I was saying. So you know that awkward eye contact where he's waiting and I'm not saying anything and it's just like we're staring at each other. It's just so awkward. I think he could tell that I didn't have a clue, to be honest, but I don't know, I feel like I styled out. After the 120 questions on weird topics, he goes, Isabel, you have passed the interview. And I'm like, yes, oh my god, I've done it, I've got this. He's gonna ask me to come in, you know, I'm gonna be working next week, it's all gonna be fine, right? And he goes, now on to section 2. And I'm like, are you joking? I'm thinking, oh no, there's no way that I'm gonna get past section 2. If I've only just scraped section 1, can't get any worse. Like, what is he gonna ask me to do now? What on earth is section 2? So section 2, I'm gonna ask you to do some role play. I was about to go tell my grandma I've got the job, but no. Now he's trying to make me do some role play. I've just answered your questions, Greg, and now you're trying to make me do a performance? I don't think so. I was bricking it. I was like, oh my god. If you were in my GCSE drama, you'll know. Not the best actress. He goes, so I'm gonna come back in 2 minutes, hands me a fat ass booklet of like things to read from. By this point my face has dropped. You know, if you know me, I cannot retain information quickly. So if he's gonna go out for 2 minutes and I'm expected to remember all of this, or some of it even, that's not gonna work, you know? But he very quickly walked out the room. He was like, 2 minutes, read this, I'm coming back, I'm gonna act as a customer. If you break the role play, you will probably fail. Way to scare a woman. So at this point I'm panicking. I am panicking. I'm flicking through like, oh my god, what can I retain in 2 minutes? My brain is like, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, I genuinely can't retain information. Like, I think I have a reading problem or something. So anyway, 2 minutes goes by. I've literally read 3 lines and it's gone in and out, let's be honest. How am I meant to revise all this different types of fish, all this meat, and brain on the floor. I genuinely have the memory of a fish, short-term memory of a fish, no pun intended. Anyway, so he comes back in. He's proper in character. Proper in character. He walks in and he goes, hello there, can I have your assistance please? And I'm like, yes, of course. Trying to act. So I'm having a dinner. He puts on this voice. I'm like, Greg, this really isn't helping, let's be honest. So he's like, so I'm having a dinner party. I'm catering for 5, but my wife is allergic to blah, 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 blah. This isn't in stock. What do you suggest to do? And I'm here with my booklet like, I don't know anything about allergies. I don't know what on earth he's talking about. And I want to get out of here fast. He was talking about some sort of pork or something. I didn't know what he was talking about. I was trying to find the meat section in the book. I was like trying to get him hooked by my friendly customer service. I'm flicking through the book. Can I find it? No. Is he looking at me like I'm stupid? Yes. I finally find the page and I'm like, yes, thank God. In my head, I'm just like, oh yes. So I open it up, dropped the book, didn't I? Closes like that. I've already been stuttering. I can't really get up the book and start finding the page again, so I had to freestyle. I had to literally just make it up on the spot, and let me tell you, it's not a good idea. I was trying to be the best customer assistant that I could and hook him on that rather than my knowledge. He was being a very difficult customer, let's put it that way. Wasn't helping me out, and yeah, bearing in mind that he said if I break the role play, I will probably fail. Little Isabel decides to just blurt out, I don't know what I'm doing. Halfway through the role play. As soon as I said it, I was like, why the hell did I just say that? I've literally broken the role play. I've also been quite obnoxious. I don't know what I'm doing. I just watched the £8.50 float away like that. I was literally cringing. I was like, why the hell did I just say that? We're halfway through a role play and I'm blurting out that I don't know what I'm doing while I'm trying to get a job to a potential employer. Let's just not talk about it. Well, let's talk about it because I'm going to tell you the rest of the story, but after this I'm never talking about it again. Honestly, at this point I just gave up. I was thinking I've definitely not got this job now. But yeah, he stayed in character. I literally did not have a clue. I told him I didn't know what I'm doing, but he stayed in character and I just went on through with it. You know, at this point I'm thinking I have messed this up, so my confidence is like, and I'm just really talking out my at this point. Anyway, so at the end so we're still in character, we're still in the role. Well, I'm not, he is. He's like, yeah, I just really don't know what to do. And my advice to him, this is meant to be good customer service, bearing in mind, and I say, I'm really sorry, we don't actually have it in stock. Have you tried? And then I name the nearest shop I can see out the window. I'm like, have you tried Lidl? Lidl? I already knew that I effed it up, but now I was sure that I effed it up. If you work in retail, you know that's the worst customer service to ever do, is to tell them to go to another shop. And that's exactly what I did. Inside I was just crying. I was so upset. The role play finishes and he goes, I've seen worse. It's not really what I wanted to hear, is it? He told me before he was going to take my uniform size. He never took my uniform size. We all know why. You know, he's telling me he's going to get back to me, but I'm just looking at him like, no you aren't. No you're not. Don't lie to me. But yeah, I shook his hand the right way this time. Did something right. He took me back to the room and he kind of talks to the manager and I'm just there getting my stuff and I just know they're talking about me. I just know it. You know when you can just tell. Anyway, I'm walking down and I'm thinking, oh my god, get me out of here now. Then I see this boy who works in the shop that I know and he's looking at me. Catch like awkward eye contact. What do? I lose my shoe. You know when you wear slip-on shoes and you're walking really fast, because I was trying to get out of this shop ASAP. The shoe just flies off. Oh, can anything else go wrong? Honestly, it literally flew like across the shop, like it went shoom. Everyone was staring at me. The managers were staring at me. That boy that I just caught awkward eye contact, that knows me from school, just saw me fling my shoe across the shop. My Asda shoe, run to collect my shoe, put it on and I am out of there. I am gone. I'm never returning to I genuinely haven't returned to that shop. Just to top it all off, I run to the bus, sprint to the bus, because everyone knows that where I live, if you know where I live, well, that's a bit weird. I hope nobody knows where I live. But if you know the area that I live, you know, my Knots people, you'll know that the buses are awful. So I literally had to wait an hour if I didn't run for the bus, so I was like, you know what, I'm getting out of here, I'm running to this bus. Missed it, didn't I? Missed it. Had to wait an hour. Just sat there staring at the shop that I just embarrassed myself in. And me, being a naive little girl, a week later rang them up. I rang them up, didn't I? Like, hi, so it's Isabel. I was just wondering if, because they told me they were going to get back to me, so I was like, you haven't got back to me, I want to know if I've got the job or not. I was that desperate. I was just like, you know, tell me to my face if I failed the interview. Like, they didn't tell me a yes or no, they just kind of left me. I understand, don't worry. So I rang them up and I was like, hi, what's my results for the interview, blah blah blah. He's like, hold on a minute. Goes off and they start all mumbling on the phone. It's like he's in an office with a lot of people and he's like, oh, Isabel, yeah, oh, let me just look at the, and then they're like, oh, and then they're all kind of just mumbling about me, just discussing the paper. And then he goes, hello, so yes, about the interview, we'll send you an email to explain blah blah blah. Thinking an email to explain, that doesn't sound very good. Did I ever get an email? No, I didn't. Did he hang up? Yes, he did hang up. And that is the end of the story. So my advice to anybody going in to a new job, don't be over prepared, because it will probably shoot you in the foot. Definitely did me. I feel like I wasn't confident enough to them. You never know what they're going to ask you, so you just got to be prepared for answering any sort of questions. Now I'm completely different in interviews. If it was now, that never would have happened, but I literally got myself in such a state. It was just a nightmare. You have to do it to get over your fear of it, like with anything. Yeah, I feel like I was just so scared. I was a little mess. It definitely gets easier the more you do it. I needed to relax a bit, a lot. You know, you're not going to sell yourself in the right way to a employer if you're just this stressed mess. By me saying I don't know what I'm doing, I literally just told him that I'm not confident, I don't have a clue, and you know, why are they going to want to employ someone like that? Yeah, I definitely learnt from that interview. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the story times because I've got a few more coming. Yeah, I feel like maybe you can learn something from my mistake if you're younger going into interviews or just in general. I feel like I still learn from this experience. Honestly, that place was very strange. Very weird vibes, let me tell you. Weird vibes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you think I'm an idiot, please give it a thumbs up. Some more story times planned, so keep a lookout. Follow me on my Instagram, and I think that's all. So I hope you're all well and enjoying your day, life, everything, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh my god.